So, good day, everyone. My name is Ibrahim Maruf, the MI. You are welcome to the show, sir. Can you tell us your name?
My name is Yakin Muhyiddin Owolabi.
You are from which school and department, sir?
I'm from the University of Maiduguri,
University of
Department
Maiduguri.
as Department of English and Literary Studies.
Okay. What's the abbreviation name for that Maiduguri University?
Unimate.
Unimid. Wow,
Yes,
amazing.
they tell you if you want to be made, you come to Unimate.
Oh, wow, amazing. We love that slogan. Okay. What can you tell us briefly your experience at the my Unimid?
Uh, though, then as a department, English and Literary Studies is challenging everywhere, but that place is somehow a bit challenging than others because they tell you frantically in our department that even though we are sleeping in the library, I can't forget that word. Our left coordinator once told us that even if you are sleeping in the library, you will not be awarded a first class degree. So all your effort, all your prayer should be limited to second class upper. So
Wow.
that's the only thing. And despite that, I think I've been seeing it. Imagine living a 200 level, promoting to 300 level with a GPA of 4.48. You know that
Amazing.
means they actually
Out of how many?
want to. And just you need 4.50 just to have first class. Oh, 4.48, that means they intentionally don't. So that's the only challenging things that I've been experiencing there. And I'm someone that
As an English literary student, what can you tell us about the literary studies?
the literary studies deals with literature. And when we are talking about literature, literature does not limited to English alone. We have even though you Yoruba as well, the Hausa literature, the English literature, and other aspects of literature from every other word. So that's what we mean by literary. Anything literary means the ability to be able to read and write, and that's how it is different from other departments. We have in other departments now, we have the chemistry textbook, the physics textbook, the every other textbook. But in literature, they don't call it textbook for you. They call it for you literary text because that's the content they want you to get from it.
Oh, can you please tell us the literary text and the scripture?
The literary text, we have different kinds of literary text. Even though in Nigeria alone, we have the southern and the northern uh, literary text. And right now, the most popular of them is Things Fall Apart. Everyone, even if you are not a literature
Oh,
student,
written by Chinua Achebe,
Chinua
right?
Achebe.
Wow.
Even if you are not a literature student, you should have been able to read that book. Everyone has been
Can you
actually.
please tell us another works by Chinua Achebe?
There are many. You have his first novel is Things Fall Apart, followed by No Longer at Ease, followed by uh, followed by A Man of the People, followed by Arrow of God, followed by Chike and the River, and other
But which one
stories.
took him to the limelight?
Took him to the limelight
Yes.
is Things Fall Apart
Wow.
because he has written that book. He wrote that book during uh, the colonization era. Yes, and that's why they regarded Chinua Achebe as the father of modern African literature.
Modern African literature. Can
Yes,
you please tell us another, scholar in literary studies?
yes, one of my favorite scholar, even though my favorite scholar is not Chinua Achebe,
Wow.
and
But
it's not
who?
even Wole Soyinka, but
Wale
Ondudu
Soyinka.
Wakiungu.
Amazing. Can you please
That's
tell us
my
one or two three
works.
works of
Ondudu Wakiungu. Yes, he has The River Between, Hamlet, The River Between Hamlet, and
as your
other
reference
pieces.
scholar? What took Wale Soyinka to buy the Nobel Prize Peace Prize Award?
Yes, I should. I think we are on live now. I should say Wole Soyinka is not my favorite scholar, and moreover, he's not my type of writer.
But you love him,
I don't really do.
but you like him,
I don't.
but you have affection for him,
No, I don't
but
really.
you are learning from him, right?
I actually do
Wow, amazing.
because I need to read his book for some courses,
Under normal
and I
circumstances.
wondered. Majority of people, let me just say, they call Wole Soyinka a professor.
Wow. But
But
who?
if you're an academician, you will not call Wole Soyinka a professor. He's not
But
a professor
but what?
because he never had a PhD.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
That means an honorary professor, right?
Yes, you know those times when when you are lecturing in abroad, every lecturer in a department, even if you are teaching a primary school student, they call you a professor.
Wow.
So that's what the grant Wole Soyinka was taking. So he came back after he was deposed by.
You are the third person I'm hearing this from. I firstly heard this from one of our guard, Dr. Nuruddin Azunige, the former MSSN National Amir, that said Wole Soyinka was never a professor.
He's
He
a
said
professor.
it in Osun State. And you are here now saying it as well. And one of our professors as well have mentioned it.
Yes,
So,
Professor Aliaga, University of Ilorin
yes,
State. Yes,
exactly. I heard it from Professor Aliag as well that Wole Soyinka was never a
he's a
professor.
professor.
But you learn from him.
Yes,
And
yeah.
majority of our scholars that even professor are even learn from Wole Soyinka because some of them even wrote their PhD works on the works of Wole Soyinka.
And they might do. That does not mean that for him not being a professor, that does not mean we cannot learn from him. Majority of our lecturers in that institution as well, they are doctorate holder, and even if in a lecturer in my department that is a master's holder, I would respect him more than I respect Wole Soyinka.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
As a literary student, literary studies student now, what can you tell us how rigorous is literary studies is?
Uh, Literary studies is just that it need creativity.
Creativity? In
Yes,
what
and
sense?
yes, because you need to be thinking, overthinking. Even when you are sleeping, your your topic, what you are working on, should be on your mind.
As a student that does not even study the literary studies, is it a must for a student of other academic department to be along with those literary study students?
Yes, it is possible. Even though if you check right now, most of the writers we're having these days, they are not even from English and literary studies. Majority of them are from sciences. Because and the thing is, if you are if you are a student rather of English and literary studies, you will be conscious of your language. Every language you are putting together, you'll be conscious of it. So the fear of that made them to lose their writing skills. I have a lecturer when I was in NC's, Madam Ibrahim. He's an Hausa, and if you want to respect someone, he's now having his PhD in Bayero University, Kano. If you want to respect someone in that department, we respected him the most. Why? Even though when he was in our school, he already started at University of Ibadan. Every piece of literary works they submitted there, they send it, they mail it to him, and he selects it to some book. He buys book every time. And you always see him with three things, either newspaper, radio, or he's reading books. And he will tell you that the first time I gave him my work to edit for me, one of my poems to edit for me, he told me frantically that he do wondered why and how we are making it possible to write, because he doesn't have any
Time.
time, or he do not even have the creative of writing, the passion for writing,
Is there any
despite
difference
the
between
fact
poem
that
and article?
yes, sure.
What can you tell us about?
Article, you have a you have the choice of words to pick.
Oh,
Your
in
words can be
article.
lengthy. You should be worthy when you are writing an article. It's one of the forms of writing an article. You should be worthy. That means you should have a minimum of words you can write. But poetry, you need to be uh grooming words together. When you are having a paragraph of nothing less than 6, 7 paragraphs. And when I mean paragraphs, that means a paragraph should contain at least 2 sentences. At least. So grooming 5 paragraphs together, or 6, 7, for you to form just a single line of words. So that is what
Last
this
but
thing.
not the least, if you have the same boat of contention in writing article and poem, how are you going to differentiate the two?
Though I'm not a fan of article, I'm a fan of poetry. And as my nickname, they call me Young Poet. That's my nickname. If you check recently, Assault magazine, launched by the MSSMB zone, one of my poems was actually featured in that magazine, which is Suicide is not an option.
Suicide is not what?
Suicide is not an option.
Wow.
So I would rather picked poetry over any other genres of literature.
Wow, amazing. We are very glad for having you. My name is once again is Ibrahim Damla, the MI. What your name once again, sir?
My name is Yakin Muidin Olabi.
From
So from the University of Maiduguri, and on my I think Facebook, checking on my works, my poetry works, just YM Olabi Young Poet. So you have it there, so you can actually
we are very glad for having you.
sometimes read it. Thank you very much.
Meeting you next time.
We are actually like